Life starts with childhood, and a child is born, not yet smart or able to reason. And we, being the parents of this child, I intentionally don't say the word baby, because in Russian, the root of the word stems from the expression son of a slave. Slavs call the kids chado, or child, but I'll use that word sometimes, stepping on the throat of my own song to be understood. So this child grows, gains sons and experience, and parents gain parental experience. And as long as he is our son, we are his parents. Our children learn to be our children, and we learn to be their parents. We were children before, but they haven't been adults in this life yet. But we demand from them that they understand us and don't do anything to understand them, although we have been children once and must understand them absolutely. Unbearably awful paradox, which you need to think about and take appropriate measures. This is firstly. Secondly, we tell our children, out of the most noble intentions, do not argue with your peers. Don't get into a fight. Don't climb a tree, you'll fall. Don't touch a dog, cat, you'll get infected. Don't sit by an open window, you'll catch a cold. Don't sit by a fire, you'll get burned. Don't stand in the sun, you'll get burned. Don't drink tap water, stomach will get sick, and on and on and on. Look at what kind of bricks, what kind of foundation we're laying. Everything that surrounds you, nature, animals, trees, sun, wind, water, people, objects, everything is aggressive towards your life. Everything is dangerous for you. And when this child grows up, we are surprised why he is chopping down trees, shooting dogs. Why doesn't he admire nature? Because all these are his enemies. And even if he doesn't think that way, doesn't say it, still in his subconscious, this has been programmed in, written in bold font. This is why you have to be very careful with your own settings. We may not want to think about them, but in this case, especially in this case, we must be conscious. Because children don't do what we tell them, they do what we do. When we are discussing a movie or a book or a relationship with each other or with neighbors, children listen. They learn similar valuations and judgments from us. Frequently, those are unfounded and superficial, reflex, and as a result, we get trouble. There must be a sign, children beware, on the wall in our house if children enter in or if we have them. If we are not in a position to form our own life, own destiny, own integrity, then it's our direct responsibility to at least not harm our children. And since I mentioned the word responsibility, we remember that we cannot exist in this world without responsibility and duty. We have a duty towards our children, country, earth, nature, parents, neighbors, and everything that happens to a greater or lesser extent. As a matter of fact, we inherit the earth from our ancestors and must pass it on to our children as their inheritance. We don't borrow it from our children, because if you haven't inherited anything, you cannot lend anything. When speaking about children, I have to talk about the elderly also, because the elderly could almost be a bigger category. These notions existed in all the proto-cultures and were highly developed in the Slavs' culture. Nowadays, you can probably observe it in Caucasian people maybe, and those people who live by the primordial traditions of the ancient civilizations. Some words about the family. We try to fit in sideways and do, but should integrate into that system of relationship straight in. A husband and wife would always have these categories in the first place. For the husband, parents must come first. For the woman, children. But an important amendment here. For the husband, it must be his own and his wife's parents in the first place. Children, when they see how their father is treating his parents, when they become parents themselves, will treat their parents in the same way. But if the woman says to the husband, "You have your own family, why are you spending all your time on the parents?" and say you must go there, call here, help there, be someplace, buy something. You have your own family. Children see that, and when they have their own family, you will be left without your children, because they too will believe that their own family is more important, and the parents can get by somehow themselves. And regarding children for the woman, of course they should come first for her. And if the man loves the woman, then he loves her children, whether they are his or not. But if he doesn't love the woman, then generally he doesn't love the children. It's not important whether they're his or not. Some own selfish ego, positioning, may make him try to take the kids off the woman through litigation. Depriving a woman of her kids is the same as depriving a man of his parents. Absolutely immorally wrong, independent of whatever laws the society accepts. If you start thinking about it and comparing with your own thoughts, feelings, and life, then there is no need for you to familiarize yourself with the existing political, ideological, economical, structured networks on the subject of which is more important, more interesting, more advanced. The more important, more interesting, and more advanced is what comes naturally.